Yo, what is up everyone? This is your boy Nemesis and welcome to another YouTube video. And today I kind of just woke up and thought to myself, alright, I think let me do something. Let me talk about Lars Rage Drive. So I'm going to talk about what I think of the Rage Drive, like how good it is. I'm going to talk about how I think they can buff it to make it a little bit better, and then I think finally I'll talk on the utility of the Rage Drive, just some good ways to use it, because I believe till today not a lot of Lars players use this Rage Drive as it should be used actually. So yeah, those are a few topics I'm going to touch on concerning the Rage Drive. I actually haven't done any of these in my YouTube videos. I don't know if I'll make it a series. I just did it today because I love Lars so much, so I thought, why not? I mean, it's Lars, come on, everyone loves Lars. Okay, so Lars Rage Drive is more of a combo extender, on hit and a mix-up on block. That's the best way I think you can describe this Rage Drive. There is not much to it. So it's a combo extender on hit and a mix-up on block, of course. You can only access it from silent entry, I believe. Silent entry. So that's pretty much Lars Rage Drive in a nutshell. We're all familiar with this Rage Drive, so I won't explain a lot on it. Okay, so how good is this Rage Drive in my opinion? Okay, so I really want to be biased because Lars is my main. I love this character, it's my favorite character. I want to be biased and say it's a great Rage Drive, but to be honest, it's a decent Rage Drive. It's decent now because you can actually access it directly from DE to CE to Rage Drive from full screen. That's why it's decent now. At launch it was bad because you had to set up like all this risky stuff, but now it's decent because of this, in my opinion. That's why I think it's decent. It's easily accessible, so to say. Setting up stuff from like mix-ups, all these pokes, it was very risky. Half the time, no, not even half the time, like 90% of the time you get interrupted midway, which is still a big problem with this Rage Drive. It just gets interrupted a lot. It's very difficult to set up. That's what I really hate about it. But in season 3 it's a decent Rage Drive now. You can just go full screen, but the thing about this is you have to condition your opponent, make them think you have to go low with dynamic entry, stuff like this, with the jab as well, then the low as well. So you condition them, think that you either go for those other mix-ups and not the Rage Drive. That, believe me, that will always guarantee you the Rage Drive, at least on block. This buff was actually godsend in season 2. It slept on, but it's actually really good for Lars. So yeah, the Rage Drive is decent in season 3 because it's easily accessible because of this. Overall, it's still not a very good Rage Drive. It only does 27 damage on hit. Only 27 damage. I get because it's a combo extender, so it won't be as much as like Po or Nina, the spike in Rage Drives. Not the spike in Rage Drives. They the ones I'm talking about, the Feng, Leo, Po, Nina, those kind of Rage Drives. But this one is a bit different because you can use to extend combos, juggles, so it's a bit different. But it only does 27 damage. You can get a juggle on hit. Yes, 75 damage, which is good. I wish you could get to up to 80 at least. Up to 80 in my opinion. So that's why I think they need to buff the damage on this a lot. That's the first change I would like to see on this Rage Drive. Buff the damage to either 30, at least 30. so we can hit that 8 damage mark in rage. Make it a very scary rage drive on hit. I mean, half the time when you land this rage drive, I mean, the opponent is already dead because they're already like low health, very low health, so it might not be as a big change as I think it might be, but it would still be monumental for Lars. Getting it to 30 damage would be very good. So yes, on hit you get a full juggle like I explained. So that's the good thing about landing this rage drive on hit. On block it's also good. Now what makes this rage drive decently good and scary on block is the fact that he has access to an unblockable. That's what makes this rage drive very scary on block. Now not many Lars players know this. Guys, my Lars bros, my broskis, please remember that the unblockable after the rage drive is a command input, just like juggle.On running to the tackle. It's not the same as doing this. This is way slower. It is way slower. So I don't get why most Lars players I watch do not use this. This thing is hella fast on block after the rage drive. It is hella fast. So it's the same input as his actual super. His actual unblockable. It's the same input after the rage drive, but it's faster. So that's the mind game on block. This is why this rage drive is scary on block, and in my opinion you want to land this on block than you want to land on hit. On hit, Wallace, you don't get that much damage. You get 75, but you won't land this rage drive half the time. It's always blocked most of the times. So on block you get a good mix up. So let me get into this now. I'm getting into the rage drive on block, stuff you can do to mix people up. Okay, so when Lars lands his rage drive on block, he automatically goes into dynamic entry, which is forward 3. That's why you have access to the law, you have access to his war bounce, you have access to his godlike jab that has very good tracking both sides, and you have access to his 2, which is the counter hit, launcher on counter hit, safe, and finally you have access to his new screw, the 1+2. So what people do to avoid the unblockable is, one, they step. So let me just show you guys. I haven't set up rage. What the hell am I doing, man? No. Alright, opponent rage on. Yosh, the kodu. Nice. Bam bam bam. Yep. Okay. No, I have to play that. Okay, so the first way is you can step this. I was too late. There, you can walk 360 degrees around this shit. So it's not as scary as it looks, right? Actually it is, because yes, there is a mix-up. Dynamic entry 1+2 tracks. It's got godlike tracking. Even in neutral this thing is good to use, but especially after the rage drive this thing is good to use, and it tracks both sides. So bam, okay, and play. I ducked, I didn't step there. There I stepped, so see? So you can't step. So that's the mix-up you want to use. That's the tool you want to use to catch the side step. So the mix-up is between the unblockable and dynamic entry 1+2 to catch the side step. So that's the first way people try to beat the unblockable after the rage drive. They'll try to step. The second way they'll try to beat the rage drive, of course, is to interrupt. Because it has it's not a block string, guys. It can be interrupted before you actually land the unblockable. So see that? Arc blast is 15 frames, so it can be directed by anything 15 frames. so it's not a block string. Keep that in mind. So what you want to do for this is dynamic entry to this thing. This thing launches on counter hit. So if they press any button whilst you use your Rage Drive on block, you get a counter hit. So boom. Okay, I'll arc blast after the Rage Drive. Yeah, I'm going to arc blast again. See that? Counter hit launcher. I rage hearted. There you go. So there you have it, boys. That's how you mix up the unblockable with Lars. So that's kind of the iffy thing about the Rage Drive on block. Again, there's so much around it. You have to guess, you have to decide on your own whether you think they'll step, whether you think they'll press buttons, or whether you think they'll respect you. That's where the whole, unblockable thing comes in with the Rage Drive. So those are the best. Oh no, you have another option. So in the case that you actually don't want to go for the unblockable, or if you think they are 40 damage or 30 damage away from dying, what you can do is go for the low. This thing is hella good, guys. This is so good, because once they see you do this now, they'll either start blocking or even try to interrupt you now after the Rage Drive. So it opens up the mind for mix-up games for days. Guys. This thing is good. Please use it. Use it. So just to recap on that again, guys, I hope you guys are following. Stay with me, my last broskis. Get better with this character. He's not as bad as everyone says. So for the unblockable, of course, this first you use dynamic entry 1+2 for the side step. 2, dynamic entry 2, dynamic entry 2 if you think they won't respect you and press buttons, you catch the counter hit free launcher. And finally, you can go low if you think they respect you, and you think that if you think they, they'll die with the low, go with the low. Those are his mix-ups off of the Rage Drive in dynamic entry. Now what do I mean by that when I just say in dynamic entry? So Lars got the season 2 buff that I just spoke about earlier. You can go directly from dynamic entry to silent entry by holding forward, by tapping forward, So you can go from DE to CE just by tapping forward. So this also works for his Rage Drive. So he's got mix-ups upon mix-ups, man. This but I think it's a little too much, because it's difficult being efficient with this Rage Drive, but I mean, it is what it is. So like that, you can go into silent entry from dynamic entry after the Rage Drive. There. So this again is good if you notice that the opponents are respecting you after the Rage Drive hits, of course, on block. So some good options you have after this, of course, is the low. This low is at least not launch punishable, one of Lars' best lows. That's the first option you have. The second option is silent entry down forward 2, of course, plus frames. Is this +1 or 0 now? I think it's 0 now. But I don't think you should go for this, because you're already using plus frames when you use the Rage Drive, so there's no need for you to do that again. So the only thing you can do is go for the 1, which is a wall bound. This is very, very good at the wall. But the thing is, why I talked about efficiency again is he already has a wall bounce in dynamic entry. So you can just do this to wall bounce at the wall. So there's no need to actually do this. You see what I mean by efficiency? There's just so much with the Rage Drive, you don't know what exactly to use. It's just so, god. But if you feel as though you want to, mix ups, you can use this and go for the wall bounce. It's good. I hope I haven't forgotten anything. Let me just think. Oh yeah, you have the grab as well, guys. The grab is good. The grab is good. So another option you have, of course, you can always, one thing I love to do is to mix it up with the one grab. This is a good option as well. Yep. So you have a little mix up with the grab game here. This is also good. What else have I forgotten? Oh yeah, you can cancel the Rage Drive. Wow. Come on, Nemesis. Yeah, you can cancel the Rage Drive like that. This is just like a box full of mix-ups. It's insane. It's really insane. That's why I find most Lars players have difficulties implementing this Rage Drive. There's just so much to it. It's so insane. So one thing I love to do when I cancel this Rage Drive is go for down back 1-3. This is kind of a safe, not safe law, because usually if you commit, or if you don't commit rather, can actually make this law safe. Like they won't actually punish because they wait for the high. But sometimes if they block the whole thing, they won't actually launch you. They'll just punish you with while standing fall. So it's kind of a safe law in a way, but it's still risky, but not as risky as this or this. So I love doing this, especially when the opponent is like a pixel away from death. That's really good. Another thing you'll have to do after I cancel the Rage Drive is the 1+ this one, upward whatever, upward 1+2 throw. I mean, it's as good as using this, but I like this because it has better Oki. I always dash up jab after this. What the hell? That's a I love that Oki. What else? I think that's it, boys. That's it. I don't like forgetting stuff. I really hate it when I'm watching my video and there's stuff I've left out for my Lars bros out there, but I doubt there's anything I've forgotten. Okay, so just a quick recap. On block, you want to utilize unblockable. This is good. This should be your go-to. 2, mix it up with 1+2 side steps. Again, mix it up with dynamic 2 if you think they won't respect you. You can go for the low as well. That's very good. You can go for the grab. Come on, I have this mapped. What the hell? Yeah, you can go for the grab. That's good. At the wall, you want to go for the wall bounce. Okay, you can always go to silent entry if you feel like going for mix-ups upon mix-ups. Oh yeah, I said this is one of Lars' safe laws. It's -14 at least, so few characters can launch it. So that's another reason why you actually want to go into silent entry after the Rage Drive. Yeah, I forgot to mention, that's a very good point actually. We all know how risky Lars is as a character, so it's very good to try to utilize his not very launch punishable laws. That's the reason why you want to go into silent entry again. So I think that's pretty much it on block. If there's something I've forgotten, I will link it in the description. So again guys, please utilize the Rage Drive on block, especially the unblockable. Let your opponent be aware that you actually have the unblockable. If they are aware of that, they'll start pressing buttons, they'll start trying to sidestep, and that works to your advantage because you can actually use the dynamic entry 2 and get a CH launcher. And one thing I don't like about this Rage Drive again is the fact that it's very difficult to always, like in a tournament format, there's not much you can do in a 1-2 setting because it's got so many mix-ups. You won't be able to use everything in a tournament setting. So that's why Lars is a good character for long sets as well. This is concerning the Rage Drive only. So on block, try to be efficient in tournament. Try to utilize the unblockable with mostly the dynamic entry mix-ups. If you want to go to silent entry, I suggest use the law. Efficiency in tournament, guys, don't have enough time to condition your opponent for all those mix-ups. There's just so many. So that's pretty much his Rage Drive on block, guys. I really hope this gets to you. Yeah. Okay, alright, now let's talk about Lars Rage Drive on hit. Bro, Lars in Rage can Lars war carry on its own is just good. Like without Rage, Lars is still one of the best war carries in the game, free. But bro, give him Rage. Give him Rage, and this man does not give a shit about stage size, bro. Lars has insane war carry with Rage. He can take you from war to war in any stage. I believe the biggest stage is the Negan stage, Last Day on Earth, I think. And I've done a Rage Drive combo from war to war. It's insane. Like it's legit insane. So yeah, the best way to use this Rage Drive on hit, of course, is to extend combos, which is where the Rage Drive shines as well. And like I said, you get a full juggle on hit. Yeah, you get a juggle on hit, so throwing out the Rage Drive raw is still not a bad idea. That's what she said. But yeah, so on hit, it's pretty much combo extension and fishing for the block mix-ups and the actual launching. Okay, so like I said, the best way to use this on hit, usually in juggles for the war carry. Like, I'm sure you guys know how big Dragon's Nest is, but Lars in Rage will get you war to war. He doesn't care about that shit, man. That's the one thing I love about the Rage Drive, is an insane war carry. Alright, so let me just give you an example of, I hope I don't drop this. Okay. Come on. I can know. It's the YouTube curse, guys. Dropping combos when you're recording. Alright, let's try this again. Nice. So 104 from Rage. War to war, guys. That's insane. Though I wish you could do at least 110. But that's good enough, because you know, while Lars, you don't care about being top tier, right? So yep, that's a good thing about the Rage Drive on hit. The war carry is insane. I don't know what the biggest stage is. I don't know if it's the Akuma stage, but I've tried this juggle in almost all the stages, and Lars, he reaches all the stages. He'll carry you from war to war with Rage, bro. It's really insane. Come on. Jesus fucking. Oh god. Okay, let's do this again. One last time, guys. One last time. I thought I would get a down forward one in there. But yeah, so that's the idea, guys. The war carry is what you always want to utilize when you have the Rage Drive. That's pretty much the only two ways you use a Rage Drive on hit. I think there is no any other way. So like I said, I believe the Rage Drive is better on block than it is on hit. I think it would be a bit better on hit if it did more damage. I'll get into that right after this, after I explain this. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it on the Rage Drive on hit. If I forgot anything, like I said, I'll put the link in the description. So finally, let me just talk about what I'll do to make the Rage Drive better. Okay, so first, at the beginning of the video, I talked about a few of the changes I'll do to make the Rage Drive better. The first thing I talked about was, of course, the damage, the base damage. I would make this 30 from 27, so we can at least get to 110. Roll, we could get at least, we could hit the 80 mark at least is good. Come on, we have Pose doing 120 damage from fucking Rage Drive. Rage at consoles, and the Rage Drive is pretty much insane. He gets a reward splat. Relax. Relax, it's all about Lars. So yeah, the first thing I'll do, make the base damage 30 at least. That's not a huge buff, it's a decent buff, please. That's not too much. Too much. You need to make this Rage Drive better. The second thing I would do, and I think this would be a little bit controversial, but I would give him the Rage Drive off of dynamic entry. I think it would make Lars more scary. More scary from DE. This is silent entry. You can only get it from silent entry. Like that. So I want it off of dynamic entry as well. This would be very scary because of course you have the new buff, the low out of DE. So giving him the Rage Drive would make that a very scary mix-up. It's still not OP because you still have to set it up with the dash. You know, Poke just do and you're dead. Nina just does her shit and you're dead. So why not give that to Lars as well? But the difference is Lars has to still set it up with the dash. So that's the second change I would make. Give him the Rage Drive off of dynamic entry as well to strengthen the mix-up potential. So those are the first two I would give with Lars. Is first the damage 27 to 30, and finally give him the Rage Drive off of D as well. Okay, so for my final change on Lars' Rage Drive, I want it to resplat on walls, like Paul, like Nina, like Feng, like Leo. So what I mean is this. He's on block. Oh, sorry about that. Sorry. That. I want a real splat. That's not too OP. That would be good. You can scale the damage, of course. 60 is a lot, but it can be scaled to get a real splat. I actually think Steve's first Rage Drive should have been the same, but at least they gave him the new Sonic Fang Rage Drive. But for Lars, that would be so good. Real splat, extend the combo, and yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Those are three changes I think would make Lars' Rage Drive more scary and more versatile and more usable. So that's pretty much it. I don't want to make this video longer than I actually wanted it to be. So that's pretty much Lars and his Rage Drive, guys. I hope I haven't forgotten anything very crucial. I keep on saying this, but so yeah, I think that's pretty much it, guys. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to leave a like, and if you're watching this and you're not subscribed to my channel, enjoy Lars main, bro. What are you doing? What are you doing? Well, Lars bros or brothers in arms, hit that subscribe button. Come on, boys, do it for Lars. Sub right now. So yeah, thanks guys, and I'll see you at my next video. GG.